Disturbing and terrifying things can happen when darkness takes over. Whether it's strange paranormal activity, unexplained events, or creepy figures appearing out of nowhere, the night reveals things we're never prepared for. Let's take a look at some of the most disturbing videos of 2025. A couple in Minneapolis, Minnesota, recorded a terrifying encounter with a clown that almost left them petrified.
Oh. Hey, what's up, buddy?
While sharing a quiet moment, they noticed a clown that suddenly appeared out of pitch darkness at their window, staring directly at them and knocking all around. The moment of fear only escalated further as the clown suddenly tried to open the door in an attempt to get in, before casually walking away. Seeing a desperate and hostile clown in total darkness is the last thing that anyone would ever want.
You have
Bizarre road sighting. A transport driver traveling through the countryside on his way to Rio de Janeiro had a strange encounter when a seemingly young man suddenly emerged from the dense roadside bushes in the pitch-dark night. Now, it wasn't just the sudden appearance of the man that was shocking here, but also the very nature of his face.
But they got like some weird mask or something.
Which he didn't seem to have any, or at least semblance of one. The driver, seeing the figure, slowly drove while maintaining a safe distance, while at the same time attempting to get a zoomed-in visual at the figure that looked nothing normal.
Oh, what the f***? Oh, what the f***?
Haunted doll. A series of videos was shared by a TikTok user at Erica Harrington on her profile from the 10th of October 2025, where she claimed that a doll that she purchased for Halloween turned out to be much more than just a doll.
Slowly turned around to look at me as I walked outside, and when I got inside of my car, she would turn back around. But if you can see right here, you see how she's turning around? Okay.
Now this only caught her attention after a series of weird things that had happened beforehand. It started when she discovered her shoe rack had broken down and fallen over as she returned home. The same day, she noticed her husky staring at the doll that was hung outside for several minutes straight, with no flinching at all. As she investigated and discovered a chair, the doll was moved to the center of the window. After being concerned for the safety of her kids, she decided to take the doll off, sending her back. Ghost Fair. A chilling dashcam video from a taxi in Japan from October 2023 has left viewers unnerved. The footage shows the driver stopping as if to pick up a passenger. The door opens and closes, yet no one appears to enter. As the taxi continues, a shadowy figure intermittently flickers behind the driver. On closer inspection, a distorted, nightmarish face becomes visible, sending a shiver down the spine. After reviewing the recording, the driver was reportedly so shaken by the encounter that he has vowed never to pick up passengers at night again, leaving the eerie footage to circulate as a disturbing mystery online. Apartment ghost. A lone tenant in Miami, Florida, was about to turn on his television when strange noises erupted from his kitchen. Utensils clattered across the floor, and though startled, he began picking them up. Just as he thought the disturbance had ended, he caught a reflection of a ghostly figure in the kitchen, causing him to flee the apartment in fear. Fortunately, he had been filming the entire encounter, capturing the eerie events on camera and providing proof of the unsettling experience. Mysterious playground activity. A late-night delivery driver in Dublin, Ireland, was passing through a playground on May 15th, where he noticed subtle activity. At first, he drove away in fear as a natural reaction, but seeing what looked like a little girl, he decided to check it out himself. Just as he walked into the playground with a flashlight, the girl who had disappeared completely, but the swing that she was on still looked to be making a subtle movement.
I'm sorry, mate. Look at this.
If this was paranormal activity or some supernatural entity that was making a physical appearance remains a mystery. Cemetery signature. A man recorded an eerie moment on October 2nd, 2021, while passing through a cemetery at night in his Tesla. As he drove past the graves, the car's system suddenly showed a person standing nearby and triggered its safety alert. Yet, there was no one in sight. The strange detection appeared right next to a tombstone, and the surrounding area was devoid of any other objects. Similarly, another Tesla driver picked up a very similar signature of persons nearby to what was an empty cemetery. Both these incidents rule out the possibility of this being a glitch. However, there is a possibility that souls have energy, and the sensors of these Tesla vehicles were picking up on it, which otherwise can't be seen or felt.
Okay, there's like literally nothing there for it to have even seen.
Art figure possessed. On May 14th, 2024, while watching TV one night, an art enthusiast captured a chilling moment in his bedroom. Lying on his bed near the door, he noticed a dark, humanoid figure, which he initially made as part of art, only to find it having its glowing eyes seemingly watching him. Despite its artistic intent, the sight of it staring from the shadows at night was enough to unsettle anyone. The footage, uploaded online, quickly drew attention for its eerie effect, where people commented that this figure may have been possessed by a ghost or demon. Cave zombie. An explorer who decided to explore a sealed cave until he was surprised as to what he found inside. It all happened on the 23rd of December, 2022, when, not too far from the entrance, he discovered this. The terrifying nature of the creature and how close he had come to it without realizing left him instantly shaken, knowing he might have been only moments away from something far worse. The clip ended as he quickly attempted to turn around and flee, immediately catching its attention. Hidden force. A family dealing with a series of unsettling events in their home brought in a priest to perform a cleansing ritual, and as he moved through the room sprinkling holy water, something unexpected occurred. In the middle of the prayer, the mother's hair was yanked sharply by an unseen force, startling everyone present. The priest, fully aware that reacting too strongly could provoke the entity further, kept his focus and continued the ritual. Those present believed the disturbance was tied to a darker presence attached to the house, one that responded violently when challenged. By the end, all they could hope was that the priest's efforts were enough to rid the home of whatever had taken hold there. Mysterious moving cycle. A motion-activated security camera system from the morgue in Bangkok, Thailand, captured a moment where a child's cycle was leaving the area. There was a visible child or person on it, which made it clear that it was under some paranormal influence. Now, it didn't just stop here, but was also seen and filmed by a bystander miles away from the morgue in a parking lot of a wholesale center. Could it be that the soul of a miner from that morgue was riding this cycle? Home invading witch. In a residence in Mersing, Singapore, a homeowner who, after having a sudden and unplanned power cut, as he took a look at the main power grid, everything seemed okay, until a woman-like figure suddenly appeared out of the blue, standing right next to him, facing towards the wall. The figure rather looked anything but normal, which left the man terrified, whereas he attempted to sneak past and escape, only to find the witch facing towards him, where the clip gets cut off. Attic stranger. In London, a woman who had long suspected she was being followed finally uncovered proof of her fears. After returning home one day, she heard faint rustling noises coming from the attic, as if someone were moving quietly above. Too scared to investigate alone, she called her landlord for help. What they discovered was alarming. Signs that someone had been living there, including a pillow, a blanket, and small holes in the roof that seemed made for ventilation. None of it had been there before. Whoever had stayed had clearly left in a hurry, likely sensing they were about to be caught. The woman quickly moved to a new apartment. abnormal woman. In a park within a residential area of Thailand, onlookers gathered after noticing something unusual involving one of two women using the park's exercise equipment. As the woman moved in a stiff, repetitive motion, her companion appeared unsettled, stepped back, and eventually walked away, leaving her continuing the strange routine alone. The incident was recorded, and the woman's vacant expression and rigid posture quickly drew attention online. Many who viewed the clip suggested she might have been in a trance-like state, influenced by something unseen, or experiencing an unexplained episode, though no clear explanation was ever provided. Stream turned paranormal. Two young men were live streaming themselves playing video games on May 16th, 2023, overnight, when something unexpected interrupted their session. It started as the camera rolled. One of them noticed the door behind them slowly drift open on its own. They both brushed it off despite being weirded out until he got up to close it, when suddenly a nearby chair slid across the floor without anyone touching it. At this point, both men froze in confusion and fear, as this couldn't be a coincidence. Paranormal intruder. A man was in the middle of a dumbbell workout when his front door unexpectedly swung open, allowing something unseen to slip inside. At first, he assumed it was just someone playing a prank and stepped out to check, but found no one nearby. Moments later, decorations inside the house began falling one by one, as if pushed by an invisible force. As the disturbance grew and more items dropped without explanation, he chose not to take any chances, leaving the home for a while before returning once things felt safe again. White apparition. Being on an empty and quiet road, a man was riding home from work when something terrifying happened on February 22nd, 2016. He suddenly saw a white figure appear directly in front of his bike, forcing him to brake so hard he nearly fell, and before he could understand what he was seeing, the figure vanished. Thinking it might have been a momentary illusion, he stepped off his bike to check the road, only for the same figure to reappear, this time much closer. Overwhelmed with fear, he ran, and when the footage later spread online, people argued whether the apparition looked like the ghost of a young girl or something more sinister, possibly a djinn waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Kitchen torn apart. A homeowner in the Midwest United States had a recording camera left behind after seeing their belongings missing and broken, only to film something completely terrifying. Shared on social media on January 20th, 2017, it showed hours when the homeowner was away and an intense paranormal activity was triggered, where the ghost or spirit started breaking apart the kitchen completely, from tossing chairs and kitchen hardware all around to creating a total mess all around the kitchen. According to a seasoned paranormal investigator, this was the doing of more than just a single entity. Overwhelmed boy. An adorable moment unfolded when a shy young boy crawled away while meeting the Queen on December 6th, 2018. During Her Majesty's visit to open a new center at the children's charity Koram, she greeted young fans as Fame Academy judges Carrie and David Grant introduced their son Nathan. The 9-year-old, overwhelmed by the encounter, dropped down as if to bow, but instead crawled between his parents' legs toward the door, cheerfully calling out, "Bye!" as the scene left everyone smiling. Could it also be that the boy was able to see through the mask of the Queen's very reptilian nature, as it was one seen even on the TV? Terrifying occupant. On October 18th, a woman in a residential area of Boston noticed her neighbor's garage light flickering even though she knew they weren't home. She began recording after getting a bit closer, thinking it could be a robbery. before she would call the police until she discovered something frightening. As the lights flashed erratically, a dark figure suddenly darted inside, moving with an unnaturally fast, almost inhuman motion. Frozen in fear, she realized she might be witnessing something far beyond what the officers or anyone could easily explain. Abandoned hospital ward. 2 clips that were uploaded on 2 different TikTok profiles showing a small ward room that was said to be haunted with a terrifying history. The clip starts with a dog who, after cheering up patients in the hallway, walks by the entry point of the ward, but is instantly scared off by something in there.
Really?
According to the story, nurses who had worked claimed that many weird things had happened in this room, starting from patients having sudden episodes or passing away, and even staff getting chills walking past it. Nobody is placed there anymore, and the room was left empty.
Every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessing.
Shadow children. A video now circulating on social media has drawn attention to a strange incident reported by the Nayarit State Police. During an early morning patrol on January 12, 2025, near an elementary school in Jala, officers noticed unexpected movement inside the building around 3 a.m. When they approached, they captured footage of what appeared to be 2 faint, ghost-like figures resembling young girls, their shapes blurred but clearly visible. Instead of treating the situation as a normal break-in, the officers focused on recording the unusual sight, unsure of what they were witnessing. Though no additional details have emerged, the footage has gone viral and sparked a wave of speculation online. Unexpected surprise. This clip, which was uploaded on January 2nd, 2025, showed either a real-life miracle or something far more divine. A young woman celebrating her first New Year's Eve without her father struggled to pop a party popper as the countdown began. Suddenly, a soft melody came from the shelf behind her.
Hold on!
It was her father's snow globe, dedicated to him, which had been broken for years and never played a note. She and her mother froze, eyes fixed on the tiny globe as the music played on its own. The moment felt surreal, not frightening, but comforting, as if her father had found a way to silently wish them a final Happy New Year.
That's my dad's snow globe. Like, we designated that to, like, be my dad.
Terrifying discovery. An African-American woman living on the ground floor of a studio apartment in Rapid City, South Dakota, reported seeing weird activity outside her front door. It all started when a bizarre man appeared, who was following her, only to stop at the front door and behave abnormally.
Get out front of my door right now. The police on the way. Go!
In the meantime, another door in the background that always remained closed and locked mysteriously opened up. The woman summoned the landlord, with whom she had investigated the room, only to discover a large pile of children's shoes. Among them, she identified a pair that belonged to her daughter, but was thought to have been lost in her school. What or how this happens remains a mystery. Weird aerial phenomena. While playing with a camcorder aboard a Scandinavian Airlines flight in 2008, a child accidentally captured something extraordinary. The footage shows a series of bright orbs hovering outside the window. These unknown orbs, or UFOs, seem to be moving back and forth as if they were showing intimidation. This incident has been cited as an example of the perceiver effect, the idea that UFOs reveal themselves only to certain observers, those seemingly drawn to notice. Whether the child was simply playing or instinctively drawn to film at precisely the right moment remains unclear, leaving the footage both mysterious and compelling. Abandoned train moving. An urban resident in an undisclosed location in Idaho was on a routine walk across a woodland forest area where he made quite a weird discovery. As he was passing an old track, a very old but functioning train appeared and passed by him. Despite the condition of the train, it looked to be functioning very well, with no crew or passengers on board. Now, neither its origin nor its destination was known, just as who was operating it. Maybe this was being tested for functionality, if not activity, and operated by a paranormal entity.
No clue where it came from and no clue where it's going.
Creepy trespassing woman. A remote resident who was woken up at 3 a.m. by the intense barking of his guard dogs as if there were an intruder, as he investigated only to find a strange woman who seemed to have the intention of coming to his property uninvited.
I'm not gonna be babysitting. You broke into the property at 3 in the morning.
The same woman appeared hours later and confronted the property owner, who was just outside the perimeter fence and was quite hesitant to see some of his dogs.
No, don't open the gate. Like I said, the dogs in the back, they are not as friendly.
After the second encounter, the property owner was finally done with her, only to notice her once again. But this time, she was attempting to break her way inside one of his structures. With not much further updates, no one knows how things ended with this creepy trespassing woman. Interaction with ghost? Footage from 2 different security cameras, dated the 28th of April 2024, shows a man standing alone on an otherwise quiet street, seemingly gesturing and speaking to someone in front of him. However, when he later reviewed the recordings, he noticed that no other person appeared in either video. The man later stated that a stranger had approached him and asked for directions to the pine forest, and he was certain he had seen and spoken to this individual. Yet the cameras captured only him talking into space, creating an unsettling discrepancy between what he remembered and what was recorded. Mysteriously shutting blinds. On October 16th, 2025, an incident was captured by a young mother along with her daughter, who claimed some kind of spirit that coexists in their residence. It all started when her daughter approached her, being terrified that something was in her room, as the young mother investigated. While filming, the blinds of all 4 of the windows suddenly went shut on their own, which terrified even her. She later displayed that these blinds can shut themselves by accident or require battery power rather than having to be manually closed.
Remote or electronics, we just open them back up so I could show you. There's no way this could be battery powered or anything. They just close on their own. And also
Ground activity. While heading to work on the 11th of July 2025, a young woman in Yorkshire, England, noticed a strangely unsettling sight. The paved bricks beneath her were rising and falling in smooth, rolling waves, creating an almost lifelike motion, as though the ground itself was breathing. No clear explanation has been identified, leaving the cause of the bizarre movement, natural or otherwise, entirely uncertain. Grave apparition. A nighttime recording from a small graveyard on the outskirts of Santa Fe, New Mexico, became the center of attention after locals reported unusual activity in the area.
Maybe weird for some people, but so this was my grandparents.
Pets, both indoor animals and dogs being walked nearby, had been reacting strangely for days, staring intently at the graves or barking at seemingly nothing. During one of these moments, a passerby snapped several photos, and in one image, a faint, human-like figure appeared to rise from a grave, looking directly toward the camera. The single photograph offered an unsettling explanation for what the animals had been sensing, even when their owners saw nothing at all. Moving mannequin. After finishing a late-night shift on January 30th, 2024, a man walking home noticed something strange at a clothing store, a mannequin that seemed to move on its own. Curious and unsettled, he pulled out his phone and recorded the sight, capturing the figure slowly shifting its head as if scanning its surroundings. To verify his suspicion, he stuck around the area for a while, until the flinching now and then, after a few minutes, confirmed his suspicion. Could it be haunted? Or was someone moving it? The latter seems most unlikely, considering how late it was. Daylight drifter. Driving through a small town in Florida, a man witnessed an unusual sight that left him stunned. In broad daylight, a translucent figure seemed to glide across an open field, its faint shape enough to send a shiver down his spine.
What the?
Unlike typical ghost footage, this encounter wasn't captured through night vision or grainy infrared, making it all the more striking. Locals who saw the video debated its nature. Some believed it was a spirit caught between realms, while others suggested it might be a camera anomaly or heat distortion. Whatever the cause, the sight left an eerie impression on all who viewed it. Terrifying pickup. A cab driver picking up a late-night fare encountered something that seemed straight out of a nightmare. Driving along a deserted road, he initially thought he was alone, but when he zoomed in with his camera, a strange figure appeared in the darkness. Its upper body remained eerily still, while its legs moved as if walking, creating an unnatural, almost looped effect. The sight was unsettling, blurring the line between reality and something unexplainable. Whether it was a ghost, a glitch in the world, or something far stranger waiting for the curious, the footage left the driver and anyone who saw it questioning what had truly been out there that night. Demonic presence. Late at night, as a man who was just about to sleep, he caught sight of something unsettling outside his window. A pale, long-haired figure that resembled a woman but moved in a strangely unnatural way, as if attempting to enter the house. With the window securely locked, he stood frozen, a creeping sense that the presence might be a djinn taking hold. The encounter left him uneasy for hours, and though he thought about drawing the curtains, he felt that such a force couldn't be so easily kept at bay. Weird alley creature. CCTV camera footage taken from an alleyway in Chicago after midnight hours before sunrise caught the appearance of a terrifying creature. It appeared in the field of view of the camera and was completely unrecognizable of its nature if it was human or some kind of animal creature or both. It had limbs and a tail, all of which would seem to shapeshift in between its movements. The effect of its shadow from a bright light is clearly visible, verifying that it was something very real and physical. Reptilian girl. Looks like it's not just the elites that are reptilian, but can even be among the average folk. Just outside a convenience store in Okinawa, Japan, a young woman who was just leaving where, in a bid to make a TikTok reel, she made a video of herself showing how she could use extra skin on an umbrella without holding it in her hands. The reel soon started to get viral among the Redditors, who started labeling her a reptilian girl. Silent stare. A woman at home caught sight of something unsettling staring at her from an otherwise empty room, and at first she assumed it was just an animal sitting quietly in the shadows.
Oh my goodness gracious, what the hell?
The longer she looked, the more uneasy she became, sensing that its shape and stillness didn't feel natural, almost as if it were something disguising itself while waiting for the right moment to reveal what it really was. Trusting her instincts, she left the house for the night, unwilling to stay with whatever that presence might be. In the days that followed, locals claimed to spot a similar strange creature around the area, leaving many wondering what it was and who might be the next to see it. Light from fingers. A local from the city of Vladikavkaz in Russia experienced something very unusual that was happening. He could notice light coming out of the tip of his fingers every time he would point towards the cloudy sky. This would occur several times and would affect all of his fingers every time he would spread his fingers back open from a fist. Possible theories that would explain this were that it could be the collection of charges that may have resulted in the light effect from getting created along with nature. Cloud pillars. During an early morning walk, a local from Kaohsiung, Taiwan, noticed a very weird spectacle over the horizon. The clip, recorded on October 19th, 2022, showed several unusual light pillars shining brightly against the clouds, with distinct shadows visible behind them. The lights appeared to illuminate the entire stretch of sky they touched, creating a scene that looked far from ordinary. Since this effect only lasted for a short while and garnered exactly no mainstream attention, it has left this weird phenomena an unanswered mystery. Levitating woman. A patrol unit from the Azusa Police Department in California encountered something deeply unsettling when a lone woman appeared in the middle of the road during their night duty, with dashcam footage dated the 27th of June, 2015, capturing the moment. As the officers slowed down to question her, she slowly turned toward the vehicle, revealing glowing eyes and outstretched arms, with a small flame flickering at her feet. Before they could react, the woman began to drift back and forth in the air as if levitating, and just as the situation grew even stranger, the dash cam recording abruptly cut off, leaving the officers and later viewers with more questions than answers. The video has definitely reached its end. I will see you again with another WOW video. Until then, you can check out these other videos for a WOW dose of entertainment and knowledge.